What if I told you that a single decision made by a 19-year-old college student would forever change how billions of people connect with each other? That one person's vision would create not just a company, but an entirely new digital world we now can't imagine living without. This is the remarkable story of Mark Zuckerberg, a story that proves the most extraordinary journeys often begin with the simplest ideas. In a quiet suburb of New York in 1984, a child was born who would one day reshape human connection itself. But how did Mark Zuckerberg, now one of the world's most powerful tech leaders, begin his journey? While most 12-year-olds were playing video games, young Mark was creating them. Picture this, a middle school student so fascinated by computer code that he built his own messaging system, ZuckNet, for his family to communicate. This wasn't just a childhood hobby, it was the first spark of a revolution in how humans would connect. I was different, Mark would later reflect, and different he was. Growing up in a family that valued education, his father a dentist, his mother a psychiatrist, Mark wasn't always the perfect student. Some teachers found him too quiet, too reserved. But behind that quiet exterior burned a mind that saw possibilities others couldn't imagine. By his teenage years, Mark wasn't just using technology, he was reinventing it. He created a music player eerily similar to what would eventually become platforms like Spotify. The signs were there. This wasn't a typical teenager following the rules of the world. This was someone preparing to write new ones. Have you ever wondered what the birthplace of a trillion-dollar idea looks like? For Facebook, it wasn't a gleaming corporate office. It wasn't even a Silicon Valley garage. It was room H33 in Harvard's Kirkland House, a cramped college dorm where, in 2004, a 19-year-old sophomore would change the course of human connection forever. At Harvard, studying computer science and psychology, Mark noticed something fundamental about human behavior. People were using the internet to connect, but the tools were primitive and limited. What if there was a better way? The idea was deceptively simple: create a digital space where Harvard students could connect, share photos, and communicate. He called it the Facebook. Within 24 hours of launching, 1,200 students had signed up. Within a month, half of Harvard was using it. But here's where Mark's story takes its first dramatic turn. Faced with unprecedented success, he made a decision that would shock everyone around him. What would you do if your side project suddenly showed the potential to become one of the most valuable companies on Earth? Would you stay the safe course or risk everything? Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, walking away from one of the world's most prestigious educational institutions to pursue his vision full-time. It was a gamble that would eventually make him the youngest self-made billionaire in history. Moving to Palo Alto, California, Mark and his small team worked around the clock, often coding until dawn. Their rented house became both office and living space, mattresses thrown on floors, whiteboards covering walls, energy drinks and pizza boxes scattered everywhere. The early days weren't glamorous. While Mark believed in Facebook's potential, convincing others wasn't always easy. Investors questioned whether a social network could really be profitable. Competitors like MySpace dominated the market. Every week brought new technical challenges that threatened to crash the entire system. But Mark possessed something more valuable than technical skill or business experience: unwavering determination. When problems arose, he didn't retreat. He coded through the night to solve them. When servers crashed, he rebuilt them. When critics doubted, he simply worked harder. As Facebook expanded beyond college campuses to the wider world, Mark's vision expanded with it. No longer was this just about connecting friends, it was about connecting humanity. By 2007, Facebook introduced a revolutionary concept: targeted advertising. Businesses could now reach potential customers with unprecedented precision. This wasn't just a new feature, it was the economic engine that would transform Facebook from a popular website into a global powerhouse. But have you ever wondered what separates good entrepreneurs from truly visionary ones? The answer lies in what Mark did next. Rather than simply nurturing Facebook's growth, he began strategically expanding its reach through bold acquisitions. In 2012, he purchased Instagram for $1 billion, a platform many thought was just for sharing filtered photos. Today, Instagram has over 2 billion users. In 2014, he acquired WhatsApp for $19 billion, revolutionizing global messaging. That same year, he bought Oculus VR for $2 billion, betting on a virtual reality future most couldn't yet envision. Each move revealed Mark's unique ability to see beyond present limitations to future possibilities. While others saw separate platforms, Mark saw interconnected elements of a digital ecosystem that would eventually become essential to daily life worldwide. Behind Facebook's meteoric rise stood not just a brilliant entrepreneur, but a complex human being. In 2012, Mark married Priscilla Chan, his Harvard sweetheart, who had stood by him through Facebook's tumultuous early days. Their relationship wasn't just personal, it became a powerful partnership for change. In 2015, after the birth of their daughter Max, Mark and Priscilla made an extraordinary announcement. They would donate 99% of their Facebook shares, tens of billions of dollars, to improve human potential and promote equality. The Zuckerberg initiative now works to advance education, cure diseases, and address social inequalities. This revealed something crucial about Mark's character. For all his business success, his ultimate mission wasn't accumulating wealth, it was creating positive impact at a global scale. What do you do after you've already changed how billions of people connect? How do you follow up creating one of the most influential companies in human history? For Mark Zuckerberg, the answer was simple yet audacious. You reimagine reality itself. In 2021, Facebook became Meta, signaling Mark's most ambitious vision yet, the metaverse. This isn't just another platform, it's an entirely new digital dimension where virtual and physical reality merge. Imagine attending concerts, business meetings, or family gatherings in immersive digital spaces, indistinguishable from physical ones. The metaverse, Mark explained, will be the successor to the mobile internet. While skeptics question whether such a vision is achievable, they'd be wise to remember, this is the same person who transformed a dorm room project into a platform connecting nearly 3 billion people. When Mark Zuckerberg envisions the future, history suggests we should pay attention. What can we learn from Mark's extraordinary journey? Here are the principles that transformed a coding prodigy into one of the most influential figures of our time. 1. Believe in your vision when no one else does. When Mark started Facebook, social media barely existed. He didn't have a roadmap. He created one. 2. Embrace failure as education. Throughout Facebook's growth, Mark faced countless technical failures, business challenges, and public criticisms. Rather than retreating, he used each setback to refine his approach. 3. Think beyond incremental improvement. Mark never aimed to make existing systems slightly better. He reimagined them entirely. This mindset transformed a college networking site into a global communications platform. 4. Take calculated risks. Dropping out of Harvard, acquiring Instagram, rebranding as Meta, each represented enormous risk. But these weren't impulsive gambles. They were strategic bets based on deep understanding of technological trends. 5. Build with purpose beyond profit. While Facebook became enormously profitable, Mark's decisions consistently reveal that connecting people and creating positive impact drive him more than financial gain alone. 6. Remain relentlessly curious. Even as CEO of a trillion-dollar company, Mark continues learning, exploring new technologies, and reimagining what's possible. His curiosity hasn't diminished with success, it's intensified. 7. See the invisible connections. Mark's greatest gift may be his ability to see how seemingly separate elements connect to form larger systems. This vision enabled him to build not just products, but ecosystems. Today, Mark Zuckerberg's net worth exceeds $100 billion, making him one of the wealthiest individuals on the planet. But perhaps what's most remarkable about his story isn't where it's been. It's where it's going. At just 40 years old, Mark remains at the forefront of technological innovation, pushing boundaries that will likely reshape how we live, work, and connect for decades to come. The metaverse represents not the culmination of his vision, but its evolution. So what's the ultimate lesson from Mark Zuckerberg's extraordinary journey? Perhaps it's this: the most powerful force in human progress isn't technology itself, but the audacity to imagine how technology might transform human connection in ways never before possible. From a teenage coding prodigy to the architect of how billions of people connect, Mark Zuckerberg's story reminds us that the future belongs to those brave enough to invent it. And his revolution? It's still just beginning. What impossible dream will you pursue today? Thanks for watching English Tales with Emma. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.